I watched them all the time. I think I watched Indiana State and Iowa, Caitlin Clark play about the same last year. So I watched a lot of basketball.
Like, can we get Caitlin Clark a little protection out there?
Anybody that does something flagrant to this young lady for what she's brought to the game should be suspended and fined big time.
You know, I usually stay out of these conversations, but with Caitlin Clark, I can't stay silent anymore.
I'm sick of watching Caitlin getting attacked. If the league doesn't step up and protect her, things are going to get ugly real fast.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Clark Update. I hope you're having a fantastic day, because today's story raises a major question about Caitlin Clark, physical play in the WNBA, and the way viral basketball narratives spread online. Clark fans, let everyone know you're here by commenting CC 100% below, and stay with us until the end, because we need to separate what the footage actually shows from what social media posts merely claim. There has been intense online discussion involving Caitlin Clark, Brittney Griner, and even Boston Celtics legend Larry Bird, with some videos alleging that Bird publicly condemned Griner's conduct in explosive terms. However, no authenticated interview, official statement, or reliable original source has been presented in the material supporting those supposed quotations. That distinction matters, because commentary should never turn an unsupported viral claim into a confirmed statement. What can be discussed responsibly is the wider debate. Clark has regularly faced aggressive defensive pressure. Fans frequently argue about where tough basketball ends and unnecessary contact begins. And Bird's own career provides a useful historical comparison because he competed in an exceptionally physical era while relying on intelligence, shooting, toughness, and extraordinary court vision. That comparison helps explain why his name is repeatedly inserted into this conversation. But it does not prove he made the dramatic comments being attributed to him. The real story, then, is not that Larry Bird has definitively launched a personal attack on Brittney Griner. The real story is that Clark's treatment has become such an emotional issue that audiences are willing to accept explosive claims before verifying where they originated. Have you ever seen a young player's every collision, foul, reaction, and disagreement analyzed as intensely as Clark's? Every game produces slowed-down clips, competing camera angles, accusations of dirty play, defenses of physical basketball, and arguments over officiating. Clark is judged not only as a player but as the most visible figure in the league's current growth, which magnifies everything surrounding her. If you appreciate fact-conscious basketball analysis, support the video by liking it and subscribing to the channel. A large percentage of viewers watch without subscribing, and joining the channel takes only a moment.
While this is taking place, Brittney Griner comes out and says, I am so sick and tired of the WNBA. It used to be a peaceful, small little thing. Now there's crowds screaming, hollering. This is disruptive. It's not allowing us to play the game. This is her quote. I don't know if you saw this or not.
Now let's examine why the Griner-Clark conversation became so heated. What Larry Bird's career can genuinely teach us about physical competition, and why the WNBA must manage this moment carefully. When footage involving Brittney Griner and Caitlin Clark began circulating, viewers immediately divided into opposing camps. Some interpreted the contact as deliberate and intimidation. Others viewed it as a routine moment in a physical professional game, and many argued that the available clip needed more context before anyone assigned motive. That is already enough material for a serious discussion without inventing a quotation from Larry Bird, or pretending to know what a player intended. Bird competed against defenders such as Dennis Rodman and endured the hard-nosed style associated with teams from one of the NBA's most physical periods. He understood confrontation, pressure, and the difference between accepting contact and losing focus. His career demonstrated that toughness was not simply about hitting an opponent. It involved meeting pressure with execution, maintaining composure, reading the floor, making the correct pass, and responding through basketball skill. That authentic legacy makes him relevant to the broader subject, but responsible analysis must clearly label comparisons as commentary rather than presenting them as Bird's own words. The most important concern is whether the WNBA applies its rules consistently. Fans do not need every collision to result in an ejection, nor should officials remove all physicality from the sport. Rivalries, defensive intensity, hard screens, strong post play, and emotional competition are essential parts of professional basketball. At the same time, contact that is late, excessive, retaliatory, or unrelated to a legitimate play should be reviewed according to the same standards no matter who commits it or who receives it. Clark should not receive a special rulebook simply because she attracts enormous audiences. But she also should not be denied ordinary protection because officials fear appearing overly protective of the league's biggest star. The same principle applies to Griner and every other player. Reputation, popularity, seniority, and marketability should not determine whether a foul is called. The action itself should determine the decision. This debate becomes less productive when people reduce experienced athletes to insults or claim they lack basketball ability. Griner is an accomplished professional whose size, interior presence, scoring, and defensive impact have made her an important figure in women's basketball. Clark is an exceptional creator whose range, passing imagination, pace, and ability to attract defenders have transformed the way opponents prepare. A competitive disagreement between them does not require fans to erase either player's accomplishments. It requires careful examination of the play, the officiating, and the league's response. Clark's situation is unusual because she entered professional basketball carrying expectations rarely placed on a young athlete. Millions follow her performances. Every mistake becomes a headline. Every hard foul is replayed repeatedly, and every interaction is interpreted through larger arguments about the league. She must develop as a professional while serving as a central driver of attention, attendance, merchandise interest, television conversation, and online engagement. That level of scrutiny can distort normal basketball moments into national controversies. It can also cause legitimate safety concerns to be dismissed as fan overreaction. The league therefore has to avoid both extremes. It cannot treat every touch involving Clark as evidence of a conspiracy, but it cannot ignore dangerous contact merely because basketball is supposed to be physical. Clear officiating, transparent explanations, consistent reviews, and proportionate discipline would reduce speculation far more effectively than silence. Young viewers should see that elite competition can be fierce without becoming reckless. They should learn that strength and sportsmanship are not opposites, that accountability does not indicate weakness, and that the best response to pressure is disciplined performance. Clark has generally continued to answer attention through her play, focusing on creating shots, organizing the offense, helping teammates, and adapting to increasingly sophisticated defenses. That composure is one reason her supporters remain so invested in her journey. Griner and other veterans also bring pride, experience, and competitive intensity that give the league its depth. The challenge is not to choose between supporting a rising star and respecting established players. The challenge is to maintain standards that protect everyone while allowing genuine basketball competition to flourish. The WNBA is operating under unprecedented attention, and controversial moments now influence far more than the result of a single game. Arenas are drawing passionate crowds. Television audiences are monitoring major matchups. Social media clips travel instantly, and new viewers are forming opinions about the entire league based on a few seconds of footage. That growth creates opportunity, but it also demands greater precision from officials, commentators, content creators, and fans. Unsupported claims can spread faster than corrections, especially when a legendary name such as Larry Bird is attached to an emotionally charged story. Before repeating any supposed statement, viewers should ask where it was said, whether a complete video or transcript exists, whether a reputable outlet reported it, and whether the wording can be traced to an original source. Without that evidence, the claim should be described as unverified rather than repeated as fact. The deeper conversation remains valuable even after the viral quotation is removed. Where should the league draw the boundary between aggressive defense and unnecessary contact? Should flagrant foul reviews be more transparent? Are rules being enforced consistently across stars, rookies, and veterans? Can the WNBA preserve physical competition while reducing avoidable risk? These are legitimate questions, and reasonable basketball fans can reach different conclusions. Some believe Clark experiences treatment that goes beyond ordinary rookie testing. Others argue that professional stars have always faced physical schemes, and that highly visible players naturally receive more attention when contact occurs. Both perspectives deserve examination through complete footage, game context, officiating standards, and verified evidence rather than exaggerated personal attacks. Clark's response will continue to matter. She cannot control every headline or viral edit, but she can keep improving her strength, decision-making, movement without the ball, defensive awareness, and ability to punish pressure. Every attempt to disrupt her also presents another tactical problem for her to solve. That is how great players grow. Griner's future should likewise be evaluated through her actual performance and conduct, not fabricated remarks attributed to someone else. One disputed sequence should not become permission to misrepresent an athlete's entire career. The WNBA now faces an important choice, not between Clark and Griner, but between clarity and confusion. It can communicate disciplinary decisions, demand consistent officiating, protect player safety, and allow the game's best talents to determine outcomes through skill. Or it can leave information gaps that are quickly filled by outrage, rumor, and invented quotations. Fans want intensity. They want rivalries, emotion, physical defense, dramatic finishes, and meaningful games. They also want fairness, accountability, and confidence that dangerous actions will be addressed consistently. Those goals can coexist. As the season develops, every Clark game will remain heavily watched, every major collision will be analyzed, and every officiating decision will become part of a larger discussion about women's basketball. The league's increasing visibility means mistakes will receive more scrutiny, but it also means outstanding performances will reach more people than ever before. That is the opportunity underneath all the noise. Clark's arrival has helped introduce new audiences to a league filled with talented players, established champions, compelling personalities, and intense competition. Protecting that momentum requires honest coverage as much as responsible officiating. So now the question goes to you. When you review the full context rather than a shortened viral clip, where do you believe the line should be drawn between tough basketball and excessive contact? Do you think WNBA officials are applying the rules consistently, or should the league introduce clearer standards and stronger explanations after controversial plays? And what responsibility do basketball channels have when dramatic quotations cannot be verified? Share your perspective respectfully in the comments, because thoughtful disagreement makes this community stronger. Subscribe, activate notifications, and stay connected for more WNBA analysis, Caitlin Clark updates, Major League stories, and fact-checked breakdowns that distinguish confirmed information from online speculation. Basketball history is being written in real time, and the next chapter could be even more significant than this one. Thank you for watching and for supporting the channel. Click the video on the screen, and we'll see you in the next one.